Hi, everyone. My name is Pastor Bennett of Grace in the Park Ministries, and today I want to tackle an important question that many believers have. Should Christians invest in the stock market? As always, I want to remind you that God doesn't want you saved and broke. It's essential to align our financial decisions with our faith, and understanding how to use money wisely is part of our calling as Christians. First and foremost, we need to recognize that the Bible calls us to be good stewards of what God has given us. We often think of stewardship in terms of managing resources like time and talents, but it absolutely applies to our finances as well. Every resource we have comes from God, and we are responsible for using it in a way that honors Him. When it comes to investing in the stock market, the first thing Christians should consider is whether this form of financial growth aligns with biblical principles. Investing involves risk, yes, but it can also be a wise way to grow wealth when approached with care and discernment. The key is to ensure that our investments reflect the values of our faith and contribute positively to society. When we invest in the stock market, we're often putting our money into companies that provide services or products that people need. In doing so, we are helping these companies succeed while also benefiting ourselves and other investors. This can be seen as a form of partnership where both the company and its investors prosper together. This mutual success allows us to use the wealth we gain not only for ourselves, but for advancing God's kingdom. However, as Christians, it's important that we do not invest blindly. Not every opportunity in the stock market is a good one, especially when viewed through the lens of our Christian faith. Some companies may engage in practices that conflict with our values. For instance, businesses that profit from the exploitation of others, harm the environment, or promote products that go against biblical teachings should be avoided. One example that comes to mind is the pharmaceutical industry. While many companies in this sector contribute positively to society, there are some that manufacture products, like abortifacients, that are directly at odds with a pro-life Christian worldview. Personally, I would not feel comfortable investing in a company that produces a drug like Plan B, which can lead to the termination of pregnancies. As Christians, we should ensure that our financial gains are not tied to the success of companies that promote harm or injustice. This is why it's so important to conduct thorough research before making any investment. We need to know what kind of company we're supporting and whether its values align with ours. There are many resources available today that can help us evaluate whether a company's practices are ethical and responsible. By investing in businesses that promote good and align with Christian values, we not only make wise financial decisions, but we also contribute to the betterment of society. This is why it's so important to conduct thorough research before making any investment. We need to know what kind of company we're supporting and whether its values align with ours. There are many resources available today that can help us evaluate whether a company's practices are ethical and responsible. By investing in businesses that promote good and align with Christian values, we not only make wise financial decisions, but we also contribute to the betterment of society. As Christians, we should also think about the purpose behind our desire to invest. The Bible teaches us that the reason for acquiring wealth should go beyond personal gain. In Ephesians 4:28, we're told, "Let him who steals steal no longer, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, that he may have something to give to him who has need." The ultimate purpose of earning and saving money is to be able to give and to serve others. When we invest, we should do so with a heart that is focused on God's purposes. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. It's not just about building wealth for our own comfort, but about using the resources we gain to support ministries, serve the poor, and advance the work of the gospel. This kind of financial stewardship is what God calls us to. It's about leveraging our resources for eternal impact. So, should Christians invest in the stock market? The answer is yes. if we do it with wisdom, discernment, and a heart for God's kingdom. We should invest in ways that align with our faith, support ethical practices, and ultimately enable us to do more good in the world. It's a way to multiply what God has given us so we can be more effective in fulfilling His purposes. Lastly, remember that God doesn't want you saved and broke. He wants you to prosper financially, but in a way that honors Him and reflects the principles of His Word. We must be diligent in learning how to use our money wisely, not just for ourselves, but for the sake of His kingdom. By investing responsibly and aligning our financial decisions with God's Word, we position ourselves to be good stewards. In the end, we want to be able to stand before the Lord and say, I have brought a return on what you have entrusted to me, and I have used it to bring honor and glory to you. That's the true heart of a follower of Jesus Christ, someone who seeks to use every blessing for God's glory. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.